In the mid-1940s, there was this brother and a sister. The boy was 8 years old. The young girl was 5 years old. Their mother passed away. And what happened was the father just could not take care of these two kids. So what he did was he put them up and put them in an orphanage. But the girl cried and cried and cried until the orphanage said, we can't take care of her. So what happened was the father took the brother and the sister back home. Being that this girl had very bad eyes, I mean, I wore like Coca-Cola eyeglass bottle, glasses. The father said, we have new relatives that just came across the boat that's living in New York. Put this 5-year-old girl on a train all by herself from Rhode Island all the way to New York. When she got off the train, the family looked at her and started talking in this foreign language. She didn't understand. She was born in America. She spoke English. So guess what? They said, we don't want you. They bought a return ticket and put her right back on a train, back to Woonsocket, Rhode Island. The father couldn't take care of these two kids. It was impossible. So he decided to go and find a good family that would be willing to take these two children up for an adoption. All of a sudden, the adoption agency calls up the father and says, we got these beautiful family. They're nice, wholesome Christian family. Come bring your children. They're ready to take the children for an adoption. He brings them to the adoption office. And all of a sudden, when the lady comes in and she looks at these two children, she says, oh, the boy is handsome, but the girl looks like she'll be too much work. We don't want the girl. The father said, no way. You got to take them both. Forget it. Together or nothing. He remembers what happened at the orphanage. So the adoption agency took the woman to the side with the husband and started talking to her. In the meantime, the father of these two children said, kids, you're not Jewish anymore. Once I sign these papers and you go to this new family, you will be Christians. You'll be wearing a cross. You'll be doing everything like Christians. They looked at the father and didn't really understand because they didn't really know what it meant to be Jewish either. They were in Woonsocket, Rhode Island in the 40s. There wasn't much going on there. Anyway, the mother comes back and says, I'm not taking the girl. Forget it. At that moment, the father says, the adoption is off, and walked away. Now, what would have happened to that little girl and that young man if they would have been taken on adoption? The next generation could have been grown up not as Jewish people, but as Christians. And the next generation, and the next generation. And we would have lost Jewish people to countless generations when they really could have been Jewish. This story is very personal to me. Because that young girl is my mother. And maybe that's why I've dedicated my life to reach out to find as many Jewish people who are like lost and to try to give them a way to come back home. If you're one of those Jews and watching this, give me a call. Send me an email. Let's reconnect. It's time to come back home. I look forward to seeing you all on the next lesson of Basic Judaism.